in Reonomy. All I'm doing here is East Baton Rouge. You can look up the county, any county you want, okay? What then you do is that we're gonna sort by your property. So what kind of property do you have listed as an example?
Event center.
Got like a wedding hall.
Corporate events, etc.
So let's just say we call that, probably gonna call that commercial general. We can call that some retail. Let's see what it's sorted by. What is it listed for, by the way, price-wise?
1.99.
1.99, okay. Let's just say that we say that the taxes are, how much are the taxes there?
I have no clue. I'd have to dig through the notes again.
All right, let's just
You
say,
want me to do that?
let's say at least 10,000, that's right. I'm gonna say it's at least 10,000 because I'm just trying to sort out all the really small properties. That's all I'm trying to do with it. I'm gonna hit apply, and you can literally go to owners, where very little detail of like, you want to find exactly what kind of property is. Now obviously, like, the more specific the better. I mean, obviously you have an event center, which is probably a little bit specific, but nonetheless this will probably do the trick for the most part. You know, obviously when it's like a regular retail center or an industrial building or a multifamily, this works obviously a lot better, but long story short, this will do the trick for now. You go to owners, and then you can literally see all the people here who own properties, and you can also see when they last transacted of this exact property type. So you're able to see all these people. Now, you can, you know, you could obviously do a little bit more detail. I mean, obviously you see the CVS Corporation and other things. You know, some of these larger hedge funds are probably not going to be ideal, but you can kind of sort through and kind of find exactly who your ideal would be, right? For this one, let's actually back up a second. We can go to owner. Let's say I want to do person. I want to include a phone number. So I'm just getting a little bit more as specific as I can. So down to 52. I was just trying to get rid of the big corporation names. So you can call these people up here. Okay, is it an active business as well or no?
Yes, it is.
What I would do is a few things. Now, obviously for, you know, super specific stuff, you might have to get a little bit more creative. But for regular retail, you can call all these people. You can see like, hey, this person just bought a property in February 2024. Pretty active person. This guy owns $22 million worth of real estate. Hasn't bought anything in a long time, so I probably wouldn't call them. Brian owns $11 million worth of real estate, and he bought something last year, so he probably might be a good person. I want to find people who own a lot of real estate and they bought something recently. This person owns Steven owns $52 million worth of real estate. I mean, this is tax assessed values, not exact values, but just closed on something in February 2024. So I would try to know every single one of these people on your list who owns the most stuff. Like this guy who owns, I probably don't know if you're gonna get through to $700 million guy over here, but Todd Weiss, like this guy owns $120 million worth of real estate, just closed on something. I mean, he owns a lot of office, so I don't know if he's gonna buy your event center, but you can kind of go through some things, right? Now, the other way to do it is, I mean, this is the old fashioned way, but event center, I would literally call every single person on this list, right? So like, look, ready? You just got an address here, Westway event venue. So I can go here, take this address, I go back to Reonomy. I can then plug in this address. Now, by the way, you can export this entire buyer's list, but you can also pull up this address. I'm saying you could copy paste any address, and then you can literally just reach out to them through Reonomy, right? 10 top 10 best event venues and everything, right? I would call every single one of the competitors, right? And then you could even call the ones like one county over, right? And call the tri-county area, because then they might want to add an additional location in that area, right? So obviously for specifics, I might have to get a little bit more creative and I have to do something like this, right? But, you know, when it's obviously like more of a, you know, straightforward sale, you know, you could just research it based on the buyer's list, right? So, you know, go back to what we were just doing. So again, any property you get, you can literally just look it up, right? So you just look up all the criteria, right? You just basically talk about what kind of property it is, and then you just click on owners, right? So you just click on the owners tab, it'll give you all those people, and you can literally just rip through that list.
Makes sense.
Cool.
Didn't know that. Learning.
Any clarity you feel like you need on this?
Question is, if they have an event center in the area, why are they wanting to buy another one next door to them, practically?
If they're doing great, they might want to expand, right? It doesn't affect their business. It just gives them an ability to host another party there.
Do the same process to tap into the New Orleans market, I would say like even for something this specific, like an event center, okay, it's a very niche, very special type of asset. You're like, ideally, either they're going to come, it's either going to be a competitor in the marketplace or just outside the marketplace, and they want to add another location. That's what's going to occur.
Most likely with those types of special types of businesses, right? Like just like an auto repair shop, right? If you see an auto repair shop in your marketplace, if it's if it's a block away from a guy, he may be not going to be interested in buying it, right? But if hypothetically you got a guy who's 2 towns over and he's looking to expand because he's doing well, he might want to open up a second or third or fourth location. Like obviously for retail centers, if I own a building at 123 Main Street and my neighbor goes up for sale, I'm probably going to want to buy it. So it's a little bit different if it's just an investment property. Now let's talk about scheduling. So for scheduling, when do you get to the office every day?
I'm at the office by 10 a.m. and I'm here till about 6 to 8.
So from like 10 o'clock to 2 p.m., I'd be lead generating, okay? Because like realistically, I look at this commercial business as a very simplistic business, okay? You're either in the lead generation business, okay? Like on a daily basis, you're in 2 businesses. You're either in the lead generation business that day or in the offer generation business. That's it. You focus on those 2 activities.
Explain the offer.
Offer generation. Offers is basically pitching the deals you generated, like this event center. Like let's say you're prospecting, you're hitting the phones, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, and you generated an opportunity. Somebody who wants to sell their retail business. What you're going to do is in the second half of your day, from 2 o'clock to 6 o'clock, right? You're going to be spending all day now trying to sell that property. So the morning, you're going to try to generate some sellers. 4 hours a day of lead generation in the morning. Try to generate as many sellers as you can. I like to say 2 sellers a day keeps the financial worries away. And then the entire second half of your day is going to be generating an offer on the leads you just generated.
Okay.
Which means taking that deal, getting as much information as possible, and then calling up a bunch of buyers saying, hey, I got a property 123 Main Street. This is their information. Is this something you might be open to buying?
Okay.
And that's the simplicity of the game. Now, don't get me wrong. Let's say you're a year down the road, you're doing well, you're starting to close some deals, and you have a huge pipeline of leads, okay? Because not everybody you're going to cold call, as an example, or give a call to is going to be open to selling today. I would do 3 hours of calls, 1 hour of follow-up, maybe 2 hours of follow-up, right? Whatever you need, right? Because the only thing that you're going to adjust in your calendar, essentially, is you're going to add some follow-up time. And then in the later part of your day, after 2 o'clock, you're going to block off minimum 2 hours to pitch deals. But the other 2 hours, you might have an appointment. You might have to go tour a property. But you never do that in the morning. You never affect your morning routine. You keep, every day you lead gen. Every day you lead gen.
Yeah, because my days are scattered all over the place right now and not as organized as they need to be.
I understand. Only 2 businesses, remember. Lead gen, offer gen. The only reason why you change that is because you're going to add an extra hour of follow-up or half an hour of follow-up, right? Calling the leads you've already called and following up with them, keeping in touch, right? Seeing until either one of you die, right? That's the way I look at it. It's just like, I'm going to call these people until one of us dies, right? It doesn't matter. So I'm going to call these people for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it takes. Because eventually they're going to sell. And then the second part of your day is going to be offer generation, trying to sell those deals, or touring a property to try to get an offer on it. And that's it.
Okay.
That's the simplicity of this business. And if you're not doing one of those 4 things, lead gen, lead conversion, or lead follow-up, right? Offer generation, calling up your buyers and trying to sell it and try to get some offers, or touring a property, you're doing something that doesn't make you money.
Literally turn my phone on do not disturb because it'll blow up all day long.
I look at it like I only like to make calls. I don't pick up calls. The only time I'll answer a phone call, so think about it like this. During my lead generation time, I don't ever answer a phone call. You can leave me a message. I will call you back when I'm good and ready. Because think about it. If you answer phone calls, that means you're working on somebody else's schedule, not your own. So just like a doctor, right? Doctor, you're going to call up a doctor. You're not going to get doctor on the phone. You're going to get a secretary. So you're going to think if your secretary is your voicemail. So they call up the voicemail. You say, kindly leave me a message, or if you want a faster response, please shoot me a text at the same number. Thank you so much and have a great day. They shoot you a text. Now you can answer it via text message because 90% of all issues can be handled via text.
Now, do I set a part of the day in the afternoon to return all calls?
I don't say that on the phone, on the voice message. Like if you call me, faster response, shoot me a text message. But keep in mind that what I'll do is that during my follow-up hour or at some point in the afternoon, I'll allocate maybe 5 to 15 minutes to return phone calls. And if I need to, I'll push it to the next day. Like, think about it. You get a lot of phone calls, right? Not every single one of them warrants you calling this person back. because what ends up happening is a lot of this stuff is BS. Just going to be calling a spade, right? I think a lot of it just takes your time, doesn't lead to business. What I like to try to do is really protect that. So I will vet all my voicemails, and I'm telling you, like, and I get a lot of phone calls every day, obviously, but I vet them out very, very strictly. We're like, if this person's not going to make me money, I don't need to call you back. There's no interest. And like, I can text you, right? I saw you called. If you need anything, shoot me a text. I don't need to have a 20-minute conversation. I can shoot you a text message and respond in my time. Right?
So I need to customize my voice answering to what?
Thank you for calling, Keith. I'm currently unavailable at this time. I'm working with a client. For a faster response, please shoot me a text at the same number you called, or leave me a voicemail, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks so much, and have a great day.
That's good.
Don't overthink it. Just basically say, if it's urgent, please shoot me a text.
Okay? And that right there will free up a lot of my chaos right there.
For sure. And just, again, remember, we don't answer incoming calls. The only time I've ever answered and continue to answer incoming calls is if, Keith, I call you right now, okay? Imagine if I call you, you're my lead or somebody I need to get in touch with, and then immediately you call me back, right? I just left you a voicemail or I just hung up with you, and then within 30 seconds of me calling you, you called me back, I will answer it. I'll answer that call, no problem, because I was intentionally trying to get a hold of you. However, if I don't recognize the number, okay, or somebody who I know who they are, but it's not something that I need to handle right now, which most things aren't, I will not answer the call. There's going to be a time later today that I can do that, or tomorrow.
I need to block off times and stick to them. I won't wait till Monday to start it. I'm going to start it tomorrow.